I'm not going to introduce myself again. I think you all know me. So let us start diving straight to the class. For those who do not know me, my name is Alfred Seni. I work at Employability Africa Initiative, run by Seni Consult. We've been doing this trainings for over a year now. So we've been teaching these classes to more than 1,000 students. Okay, so we're just we continue to do what we've been doing. So let's get started. So LinkedIn, how many of you have LinkedIn account? So if you have LinkedIn account, just raise your hand. Let me just see hands very quickly. If you have a LinkedIn account, just raise your hand. Just need at least 2. Okay, good, great. Yona, you have anyone else? So we have 2 people who have linked. Okay, 3. That's very good. Okay, good. So I want Michael to remember those who have raised hands, if it's possible. So Yona, Anita, and I think it was Daudi or Dennis. Okay, okay, great. Gaspar. Okay. Yona, Anita, Gaspar, and Hadija. Okay, so someone just take a note of those who have raised hands, because we are going to do a small demonstration. Okay, our Hadija also can say idea. Either Hadija or Mike can help me with that. Thank you very much. So LinkedIn, okay, LinkedIn is not a new platform. However, in Africa and in Tanzania, what happened, just checking that if there are anyone who are coming in, what happened is that we are still behind in adopting LinkedIn. Okay, so we're still behind. This platform was created in the US. Okay, so in the US, the adoption is very high compared to any other parts of the world. In Africa, it's less than any other parts of the world. However, recently, we can see the increase in the number of people who are using LinkedIn in Africa, including Tanzania. Okay, and that number has been growing very, very fast. So very quickly, in terms of number, we're getting to number. Let's just look at the agenda. Why LinkedIn? Okay, so why should you have a LinkedIn account? Okay, so
7 a.m. mpaka 6 a.m. inamaanisha kwamba kuna kitu wamefungua.
So why do you need a LinkedIn account? What is your profile? How does your photo, headline, and industry fits in your profile? Okay. What's your story, and how does your story comes up in your LinkedIn account? Okay, on your LinkedIn profile. How is your experience positioned, and what's the use of having your experience on LinkedIn account? Where do you put your skills? All right, where do you put your skills? And how does endorsement and recommendations work? And how can you get started? If you don't have LinkedIn account, how can you get started? All right, so before we get started, I'm just going to show you an example of a LinkedIn account very, very quickly. So let's see if we can do that. Okay. Very quickly. Just give me a second. So let us see an example of LinkedIn account, right? So this is my profile. Are you guys able to see? We are still good? All good? Okay, Yona, your hand is up. So this is an example of LinkedIn account. So you can see, I'm just gonna walk you through some of the features here. Okay, I'm just gonna walk you through some of the features here. Is there any issue? I see someone raising a hand. I hope not. You can write a question on the inbox. So you have the first part you can see is the banner. Okay, we call it the back banner. Okay, so the back banner simply just says, just enhances your profile. Okay, enhances your personal brand. Are we together? And then you have your full name. Now try to understand that you have to write an official name. You have to write an official name. This is not like other platforms where you can write a handle. It's called a handle thing. So you can write a nickname or things like that. So LinkedIn is a professional platform. That means what you're writing has to be the same to what is in your CV. So if you think of your CV, this is the same, okay? The only thing is, the only difference is this is online, okay? This is online, your CV is hard copy or it can be digital format, but this is your online bio, okay? You can call it online bio. So you have your full name, which is the same as in your CV, the same as in your birth certificate or your passport, your official name. Okay, if you don't have, if you didn't write your official name here, that means you're not professional or you don't know how to use LinkedIn. Okay, the second thing you can see from this profile is the experience. Okay, forget about, we can talk about the about a bit later, but the other important part is this one, experience. Okay, so experience tells people where have you worked before, number one. Number two, who have you worked with? Okay, are we together? Are we together? So please mute yourself. Tuko pamoja? And also on the experience, it also shows how much experience do you have. So three things: who have you worked for? What have you been doing? How much experience do you have? So if we go through my profile, you can see I have 15 experiences, right? So I've worked in 15 places or I've done 15 roles. Tuko pamoja? So then a person can make a decision, okay? Can make a decision based on what they see on your experience. That is this the right person for me? Does this person have the right experience for this job? Tuko pamoja? Sawa? So the other part, it's not the last, but the other part is education. This shows what qualifications do you have, okay? Or what certifications do you have? So here you can put your master's, your MBA or professional board qualifications. You can put your BA and so on. Are we together? So, and then you have licenses and certifications. So these may be something that you have learned through LinkedIn platform or another platform. You can add here your license. So the difference between license and certification, the difference between this and education is clear, right? License, tunajua kwamba license, it takes you shorter time to get it. Ndio, tuko pamoja? That's correct, right? You can have a license of something within 3 months, within 4 weeks, within a week, or within a day, okay? Education, you tend to spend a little bit more time. It can be 3 years for degree, 1 or 2 years for masters, 2 to 3 years maybe for professional certification like professional boards and CPA, CIMA, and others, okay? And then you have skills section. Skills section, this is a section that shows which skills do you have, and then people will endorse your skills, okay? People will come here and they would say, okay, this guy has these skills and so on. And then after that, you have recommendations, okay? These are recommendations you have received from other people, right? Who tells the whole world that Miss Anita Samuel is an amazing person. We worked with her. She did this amazing job. We recommend her for, you know, for whatever it is you want to do with her. We worked with her on ABCD. Tuko pamoja? All right. When after that, guys, we go to languages. Okay. Here is where you put which language do you speak. Okay. As you can see, I don't have a lot of languages. I only know Swahili and English. But if you have 3 languages, that is even better. Okay. 3 or more is better. So you guys have more time to learn. And so other parts such as interests and causes, I wouldn't worry much about that. Okay, so these are the key sections. Okay, your full name, your picture and full name, your experience, your education, skills, licenses, certifications, skills, and recommendation. Okay, so let us go back to the slides and see how these different things apply. How do you actually craft your profile so that your profile can stand out, so that you can effectively use LinkedIn? Now we have seen an example how it actually looks like. So let us go back to our class and see different concepts, different ideas on how you can make your profile better and how you can use LinkedIn better. Okay. So there are 875 million members, okay, in more than 200 countries. So that's quite a lot, right? So if I do a very quick, if you think that this number to increase to become a billion, it shouldn't be that hard. So we will have a billion users of LinkedIn within a few years down the line. Okay, those who have LinkedIn account, you can notice how LinkedIn is getting busier and dynamic as times goes on. One way of identifying that, you can see that you are starting to spend more and more time in LinkedIn compared to a few years before or a few months before. Okay, you're noticing that there's lots of activities that are happening in LinkedIn now than it was a few years back, right? So your profile, where you have your photo, headline, and industry, okay? Headline and industry I haven't shown you, but we're going to talk about that. The first thing we need to talk about is the photo. So your photo has to be a professional headshot. Has to be a professional headshot. What is professional headshot? Professional headshot ni picha ambayo inakuwa taken specifically for the purpose of professional use, okay? Particularly to use for company profile, okay? So some organizations, they will want to get a professional headshot for you or from you so that they can put in their website, right? You have seen my picture. I don't have to go back. You have seen my picture. It's not the same picture you'd have in Instagram or in Facebook. Okay. Few key ideas on how to know if you have taken a professional photo is the kind of clothes you're wearing. Usually they're plain. Okay. We're talking about work clothes. It's the same clothes that you'll be wearing or the same dress you'll be wearing when you're going to an interview. Okay, so if you have a shirt that is flowery or something that is not something, it's not something that you would normally use when you go for an interview, then maybe that is not the right clothes for you to wear while you're taking a professional headshot. And why is it a headshot? It's because it starts from the waist, okay? Starts from the waist or from the belly going up, okay? So that is why it's called a professional headshot. So, and you shouldn't be holding your phone while you're taking the professional headshot. So this is my phone here. I'm just going to demonstrate. If I hold this and take a picture, it will not come as a professional headshot. Kwa sababu, my hand will appear. Everyone will know that I have been holding my phone while I'm taking that picture. So what I can do, I can set a timer. And then I can put the phone a little bit distant from me, okay? And then go back and then make a pause, take a picture, Okay, and then I can repeat this process maybe 3 to 4 times. What you need to care is the light of the place. You have to make sure the place has plenty of light. The background is plain, so if you can find a white wall, that is better. Okay, if you can find a white wall, that is better. If you can find a gray, something that is plain, don't take something, don't use a wall as a wall that is too colorful or has a crazy color for your professional photo, unless you do the editing later on. Okay, so now we know about the photo. So if you want to see examples of professional photo, you can always Google, just write professional headshot and try to put the sexes. So, okay, if you're a guy, just put professional headshot for males or professional headshot for men. If you are a woman or a girl, you just type professional headshot for women. Okay, because they're different. Okay, they're different, and how you dress, how you pose, they're a little bit different, slightly different, but the principles are the same. Okay, the principles are the same. So your photo, if your photo is not professionally looking, already you're bringing your profile way down. Okay, so you're losing a lot of points on your profile in terms of how it appears to those who are visiting your profile, those who are looking you up, to decide, you know, to just get a little bit of an idea who you are, what is your previous experience, what have you been working on, who was a previous employer, and so on. So I think I've touched enough on that. Headline and brief has to be brief and precise. So headline ni section ya LinkedIn ambayo itakupa nini? Itaonyesha kwamba in summary. So if you can see, I don't know if you can still see. Really sorry, we have to be jumping between these two places. So if you can see, when you see my screen now, I think you can see my screen. So the headline for me is consultant and trainer. Are we together? Okay, consultant and trainer. So this is the headline. So this gives a summary, the total summary of who I am, exactly what am I doing at the moment. So professional photo, you can see my photo looks professional. Okay, you can see that I'm not holding the phone and so on, and someone took this picture. So you can invest in that. You can pay maybe 10,000 or even 7,000. Someone can take a very good shot for you, a professional photo. Okay. So let us talk about an industry. Okay. So when you are trying to market yourself, you can market yourself based on your experience. That's fine. But also you can market yourself based on the industry that you want to specialize. So for example, nowadays we have oil and gas. Okay, it's an industry that is gaining a lot of traction. So you can add on the headline here that you are a graduate looking to work on oil and gas, or you are an experienced accountant, or experienced tax person, or experienced VAT within oil and gas, or you're experienced salesperson in retail, okay, and so on, or you're experienced financial advisor in financial investment or anything. So you can decide to specify the industry that you want to be seen as specialized on. Okay, it could be food and beverage industry, it can be technology, it can be construction, tourism, and so on. All right, tuko pamoja? Sawa. Okay, so pick one or two industries to begin with. Kwa sababu wewe ni graduate, what will happen is that in the beginning, you want to be a little bit wide. Okay, you don't want to put too much emphasis on what kind of industry you want to specialize, because you want to attract more employers. But later on, ukishaanza kufanya kazi na employers wawili watatu, unaweza ukaanza ku highlight the industry that you are currently working at. Sawa? Si ndio? Your story, your experience and skills. Sasa story, what is the story? Story ni LinkedIn inachojaribu kufanya kwamba inaweza kaonyesha historia yako, it can show your professional journey. We are not talking about your personal story, we are talking about your professional story. So your professional story can be seen from when did you graduate, what did you do after you graduated, what kind of volunteering are you doing, what did you do any internships, who was your previous employer, where have you been working. These are all part of one complete story, professional story of who you are, where you came from, how did you arrive to where you have arrived. Okay, so kama ukiangalia profile yangu, then unaweza kusema okay, so this person, yes, now he's working as a CEO for a C consult, or now he's working as a trainer, right? But what happened? How did he get here? So you can go back on all those 14 experiences to find out the story behind. Okay, so essentially, this profile tells a story of me, a professional story of me. Are we together? All right. Are there any questions up to now? Okay, so your experience, so now that people know your story, okay, which you can summarize on about section here. Just gonna use my profile as an example because I filled out every single section. Okay, this is about section. About section gives a snapshot of my professional story. So it talks about the areas of interest, my mission and vision, my values, sector experience, tourism, construction, service, manufacturing, areas of business ambazo nimefanya kazi, finance, facility management, treasury, customer service, marketing, sales, areas of interest, management consulting, strategy consultants, particular digital strategy and SMEs, things I'm passionate about, empowering young people, poverty alleviation, going green or sustainable practices, African brand products and solutions. Okay, initiatives ambazo nafanya at the moment, SME leaders in Africa, Employability Africa. So this gives a snapshot of the whole professional story of me. So this is also what people call a professional bio. Okay, it just tells very quickly who you are professionally. So on the CV, this will be on the personal statement. It will be quite similar to personal statement. The only thing is the personal statement is very short in the CV. It has to be between 2 to 3 lines. I think if you attended the class, the previous class, the instructor may have touched on that. Are we together? So experience and skills, we already seen that, but how is that relevant? So most of the time when you're applying for a job, the employer will look at your previous experience, and in some cases they will look for your latest experience. Okay, because your latest experience will make you very afresh on those activities or on the job description, okay, that you've been doing. So if you the past 3 months you've been working as a on I don't know, let's say VAT filing, right? It means kwamba that kind of the skills that you require to do that, they're still quite fresh in your mind. Okay, but if we fast forward, we say that okay, you worked in computer engineering, but that was 3 years ago, and then after that you had 3 years ambazo ulikuwa unafanya kitu completely different. So if I interview you for computer engineering, probably you'll not do very well, and if I give you that job, you'll not do it very well because it's been 3 years since you last worked as a computer engineer. Okay, so your experience is very important. Okay, so that I can know that you have the right experience for the job I am trying to hire you for, but also I can get to know what is your latest experience. Okay, what is your latest experience? The skills, it means that I want to know, do you have the right skills for the job? So I can go here, I can look. But if I'm honest with you, people don't, employers don't necessarily care too much about this unless you have a lot of endorsement. If you have a lot of endorsement, let's say from 10 going up, then they may consider that, okay, if you have been endorsed on the skill, probably you do have the skill. And when it comes to endorsement, they are people who are highly skilled on that particular skill. If they endorse you, it will be written there. It will show that so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so endorsed this person on this skill, and this Mr. or this Miss is highly skilled on this particular skill. Okay, so that gives you an extra edge and an extra verification that you are actually skilled on that particular skill, right? Sawa, tupo pamoja. So put skills that are specific for the jobs that you're looking for. That comes obviously. So if you put skills ambazo haziendani na kazi ambayo unataka kufanya, then you're missing out a big opportunity and you're not aligning your LinkedIn profile to the jobs that you're looking for. Tunaelewana? Kwa hiyo kama wewe ni mhasibu, ina maana skills zitakazoweka kutoka kuna accounting payable, sales journal, reconciliation, and so on. Kama wewe ni daktari, tutakuwa kuna specific skills ambazo tutaziweka pale. Okay? Hutaweka skills ambazo zinahusiana na accounting. But how do you find out the skills to put in your LinkedIn? Okay, you have to look at the job adverts. So, kila job advert, every job advert for a particular role, whatever role that you're trying to apply, they will say, we need someone with these kind of skills. The person needs to have, I don't know, time management, need to be able to juggle through a lot of conflicting deadlines, to manage other people, to do A, B, C, D. So they will mention specific skills that they are looking for. So you can see these kind of skills, they will repeat themselves for every single advert of that similar role. Okay, will have similar skills that they're looking for. Okay, there are some roles that they need specific software skills. Okay, you need to be able to use specific software. So if you can use that software, if you can use that specific software, you should put that in the skill section. Are we together, guys? All right. Okay, endorsement and recommendation. What's the difference between endorsement and recommendation? We have seen very briefly. Endorsement is when you have put a skill in LinkedIn and someone comes to you and decide to endorse you. Okay, they are simply saying, I know so and so, and I'm gonna say I can guarantee, or I know that he's skilled on this particular skill. Okay, that is as simple as what it means. So that is endorsement. So how do you receive endorsement? People will come to your profile. It could be your colleague, it could be your boss, it could be you can even ask your colleagues, you can ask your boss. Kama wewe una team members kwenye sehemu ambayo unafanya kazi, unaweza kuwaomba kwenda kufanyaje kuendorse your skills. Sawa? You can ask. Ni vizuri kuomba wakati bado unafanya nao kazi. So that is my recommendation. Always try to ask for endorsement while you're still working with them. Kwa sababu as soon as you leave that company, your relationship with your team members will change. Okay? Sometimes some of the team members may resent you for leaving the company. right? So they may decide not to endorse you. But while you're still there, you can work on your profile, you can improve it. Okay, the same as recommendation. Recommendation usually comes from someone senior to you, okay? Someone who is senior to you. It can be your supervisor, your manager, the director of the company, or a HR person, okay, human resource person. So you can send a link, okay, you can send a link. You can find the person that you want this person to write you a recommendation. Kwa mfano hapa, I can try to show you. If I click here, the plus sign, it says ask for recommendation, okay? So please mute yourself. If I click on that, inaniambia nini? Can you guys see ask for recommendation? Help us personalize a request. Indicates required. Who do you want to ask? So it says to you that, okay, Alfred, you want to get a recommendation. Tell us, who do you want where do you want to get that recommendation from? So, for example, let me try to say Michael, okay? Michael Kibadu, right? I want to get a recommendation from Michael Kibadu. I click, okay? And then I continue. And then the program tells me, tell us your relationship with Michael, okay? So I can say Michael works with, Michael managed me, or Michael reported directly to me, okay? I was senior to you, but didn't manage directly. So now there are lots of options, okay? You were senior to Michael, but didn't manage directly. So manage directly means that it's not within the same line of communication or the same line of command, right? Sawa, kwa hiyo yuko katika team nyingine, he's managing something else, you are managing something else, but you're interacting in one way or the other. Maybe there's some projects that are crossing over between departments. So if I choose that Michael, I was senior to Michael, but didn't manage directly, I'm just gonna click that. This is just for demonstration. And then I have to say, please mute yourself. I have to say, what position did I had when I was working with Michael? So I can go here, can say I was a director of Employability Africa. And then here it already produces, says, hi, Michael, would you write me a recommendation, please? Okay, so mimi naweza customize, nikasema vitu vingine, nikasema, hi, Michael, it's been great working with you. Please take your time, take your 5 minutes to write me a recommendation. I would really appreciate. Thank you very much, Alfred. And I finish that, I send. Okay. And then it's done. Okay, so Michael will receive that. When he receives that, he will decide, okay, do I give recommendation to Alfred or not? Are we together? But you can also give recommendation, which I'll not talk about. It's the same process. You have the given recommendation area, and then you can go ahead, put a plus sign, you get give recommendation, you follow the same process. So recommendation are written by those who interacted with you and verify that you are qualified to do what you do. Yeah. How to start your account? So to start your LinkedIn account is very easy. It's not as complicated as you may think. You only need your email address. Okay. You need a professional headshot, which we have already talked about. We have seen an example from my professional headshot. And then you need to have your past experiences and your qualifications with you. So you can use the information from your CV to create your LinkedIn profile. Okay. And that is done. And that is the end of today's class. I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm happy to take questions, and we are very good on time. So please go ahead and ask your questions.